Hi there guys, and welcome to another episode. This time we're working on the ST150. Those of you who are not familiar with it, this is my ST150. So there she is in all her glory. No name just yet, so I still need some ideas as to a name for her. At the moment she just gets called the Black One or the ST, but she needs a name really. So this I bought in the beginning of summer last year, and we've done some things to it. So we've got the stickers on there from Ford Fiesta ST150. Got the 17-inch wheels, although these are my winter tyres right now. It's got a cold air induction kit on there, and we've got the exhaust, the Miltech catback system on there. But today we're going to do a job that I didn't think I'd be doing on this car. For those who've been following my channel before, you know that I've changed clutch master cylinders twice on my Focus. Well, it's time for the clutch master cylinder on the ST150 as well. A lot smaller than the Focus one, but mine's leaking, and it's leaking a lot. Right, so up there we can see the clutch cylinder, and if I press down the pedal, hopefully we can see that when I release it comes a little drop of brake fluid, and as you can see it has run there as well. So this is definitely leaking, so we're going to change this. But while I've got the car on the lift, I put it up in the air and I found another problem all the way back here, and well, there it is. There we can see lots of brake fluid coming from the right caliper. Now, just to show you how much brake fluid has leaked, there is the weight for the wheel, and it's absolutely disintegrated the paint on that weight. So this is definitely the biggest problem of why I'm losing so much brake fluid. So I need to change the brake caliper as well. So we need to get in there, and down there, and you probably can't see it, but down there are the two pipes from the clutch. So one of them comes from the reservoir. In fact, you can probably see that hose there going to the reservoir. That goes to the reservoir, goes to the top of the master cylinder, and then there's one underneath it that goes to the clutch itself. So that's going to be a bit of a pain to get to. I don't know whether I've set the battery out. I think I can get the thing apart without taking the battery, but to put it back together again, to get them clips in, I might need to remove the battery and the battery tray, but we'll see about that. But we're going to start in the car here, and to get a bit more access to the pedal there, we're going to take this panel off. It's 3 screws, 1, 2, 3, and then there's 2 more behind here, and we can get rid of all of this panel here so we can get to the brake pedal down there, the clutch pedal even. Now we can get a little bit better look at the cylinder there. There it is, and we can see that it is definitely leaking. There's quite a bit of wires in the way. So we can see the cylinder just there. It looks like it goes up to this arm here, and then there are 2 bolts on the back side there that look like 10 mils to get the cylinder out of the way. And then there's the 2 hoses on the front side. So it doesn't look a huge, massive job, but we've all said that before. Right, so I did end up getting the battery out of there and the tray, which undid rather nicely actually. And I can see that that bracket there doesn't look fantastic, so in the future that's going to get sorted. But down there now, hopefully we can see the white connector just there. That is the one that goes to the clutch pedal, and then we can see the hose above it. That's the one that goes to the reservoir. Now my reservoir's pretty empty, so I'm not worried about pulling these out and letting the brake fluid dribble out, but I have to somehow get in there. So I'm going to use what I call a dentist tool. So it's one of these like O-ring tools here, and these are really good at getting hold of those kind of clips and pulling them down. So they've got to go downwards. I assume that this is an easier job when everything's on that side, because everything here is really close to this strut leg, whereas on that side everything on this side would be open. But we get them clips out, get the hose out, and then we can start on doing it from the back side. Right, so that was an absolute pain in the arse, but we've got this bottom one. I had to get my colleague to help me because I couldn't get him in my arms, but the bottom one is loose, as you can see, and the top one is actually still there, that one, but I think that will go with the cylinder when it goes out the back side, hopefully, and I can detach it when it's at the side there. But they're a pain in the neck because you've got this in the way. Okay. Well, I fought and I won. Now I did watch a video, it says just take out that 14mm bolt up there and you can release the pedal and everything will be done. Well, that must be the old pre-facelift Fiestas, because this one didn't. What I ended up doing is there's 6 nuts up there that hold the pedal box. As you can see, the pedal box is completely loose now. To hold the pedal box in place so that I could pull it out, to be able to actually get that off of that bracket there. So there's a difference between the facelift and the pre-facelift, and the facelift model is a lot more difficult. So all I've got to do now is fit it all back together again. So this is the new one. This is what it looks like when it's off the car. You've got your one that goes to the pipe that goes to the slave cylinder, and the one that goes to the reservoir with their clips. And then you've got the hole just there, that one there, for where the spring goes to the pedal, and you've got the 2 clips on the back side, that one there and that one there, that hold it in place, and the bolt holes, one there and one there for it. So there's not much holding it in, but it's a bit of a pain in the neck to get in place. Oh my god. Right, eventually I've got the slave cylinder, the master cylinder, back into place. As you can see, I ended up doing a tad more work than what I'd planned on to start with, and I ended up taking the entire pedal box out. So it's not that difficult really. There's that little pin there that holds the brake pedal to the master cylinder there, and that's just got a little dowel on it that you push out and that pops out. But then it's a bit tight getting all these sensors out, but eventually I got it out, and the hardest part is actually that spring there, trying to get that in and then trying to hook everything in and still keeping it on the clutch pedal is an absolute nightmare. So it was easier to take out the 6 nuts there and get the brake pedal and clutch pedal out as one unit. So I've got to tighten those 2 10mm bolts back up again and then wiggle all of that lot back into that hole again. Well, that was an absolute nightmare to get out and to get in, but it's finally back in place. I've just got the 6 bolts to tighten up. I've just got the 6 nuts to tighten up, and there's 1, 2, 3, and then an upper row there. Now these are the different switches for the pedals, and I don't understand why they are so ridiculously complicated to get out. Now most of us will know that this is like a brake light switch or a clutch switch, which is pretty normal, standard stuff, and we're all pretty used to seeing them fitted like that. And normally you just give them a bit of a twist and they come out, but not this one. It doesn't come out at all. What you have to do is press the button and then twist it, of course. So you have to press the switch in, and then once that's in the bottom you can twist the switch and it'll pop out. That took me ages to work out. It's got 2 locking tabs that are there, just there, and they come out when you twist it into place, and they lock it into place. So why it has to be so ridiculously complicated to just get out a switch, I don't know, but it really annoyed me. But eventually I got everything out of there, but what a nightmare. Why make that so complicated? Well, eventually it's all back in again. Now the only mistake that I made, the only mistake I made, one thing I did find out is that little white pin that's there, hopefully I can get that on camera somewhere, that one there, the bush there for the brake pedal, that needs to be put in before you bolt the chassis down, because I had to take all those 6 bolts out again to be able to give me enough room, because as you can see there, there's a metal plate here that stops that bush from coming out. So that needs to be done straight away as soon as you put it in, and once that's in, everything else just bolts up, and there's all the connectors here for all the different switches. So once they're in, and I also had to disconnect the accelerator pedal as well to get that done. So this is all now put back together again, and I can start to plug in the hoses and then start to bleed the system. Right, so everything in place, we can now bleed it. And the way I prefer to do this, especially as I'm doing this on my own, is to buy one of these, a cheap vacuum pump from Amazon. These cost about, what, 20 quid or something like that. You can buy the ones that you put on a compressor, things like that, but I do prefer these ones. I think they work so much better than the compressor driven ones. So basically we are, let's see if we can get up there. There is the outlet, the bleed nipple there, and I've put a hose onto it, and you turn this part of it, there's a little lever there, you turn that and that opens it up. The good thing about this vacuum thing, good thing about using the vacuum is that I can actually put a vacuum on that to start with, and when I open that nipple up there, you can see when the fluid starts to come out straight away, and as long as there's a vacuum in there, you know that you've got fluid coming. And then while it's pouring out, you close the nipple up again. So I've bled that on my own, and we can have a look at that liquid in there, which is absolutely black. So that was definitely in need of it, if nothing else. That looks absolutely terrible. So I've now got nice clean brake fluid in there. So I should have a clutch, and I'll be able to test that when I get the battery back in there. But that's how I bleed these sort of things. Now my reservoir's been empty, I need to go around and bleed on my brakes as well. So I've got them to do, but I've got the vacuum bleeder to do it. So it's not a difficult job to do on your own. Right. Definitely feels like I've got a brake pedal, and that feels like a clutch pedal. So I'll connect the battery up, start it up, and see if I've got brakes and a clutch. Well, she starts, so that's a good sign. Let's see. See if we can get a gear. Clutch down. Yep. I can get gears, and I can brake. Whew. Right, well, I'm going for the all-important test drive with this now then, to make sure that everything works as it should do. That is an absolute pain in the neck to do on a left-hand drive car. I assume that a lot of that is a lot easier on a right-hand drive car. Stay tuned, make sure you press that like and subscribe button. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching, and bye-bye.